Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to do another video today after the video I made yesterday on Christmas because I'm kind of inspired by a message that I was sent this morning by someone, a very kind person on TikTok, and it kind of made me kind of think a little bit more kind of about my recovery journey, and hopefully give I guess hope to others. So before I do that, I have to say, if you guys like this video, please subscribe. That helps the channel a lot. But I appreciate, your viewership in general. Don't feel like you have to do those. And then also comment. I really love the people that leave comments. It's just nice to read those, especially when it's nice things. It's just nice to get, confirmation, hey, yeah, these videos have been helpful for some people. But yeah, so I was thinking, the person had said in their message to me on TikTok that, it's just hey, I watched your video, it sounds like you've been through, quite a difficult bit of your life. Because I talked about on my video yesterday, I talked about how that was Christmas was the 5-year anniversary of me getting my first arrest, which ended up with me being tased multiple times by the police and dogpiled, having 4 ribs broken, and that was a week after losing my job. So pretty difficult time. And it's so I was doing a little reflection on where I am today and where I've been, the past few years on my recovery journey. But it made me think, and that's kind of going to inspire the title of this video. But I just wanted to kind of impart to anyone watching this that I really believe it's never too late. I really do feel like there's never a point in time where it's oh, hey, I'm too old to turn my life around, or oh, I'm too old, or I'm too far into my addiction to make positive changes and or achieve my goals. Hey, I want to be a nurse, but I'm 50 years old. It's go to nursing school. I don't think there's such thing as too old. Of course, obviously, unless your age or your condition physically prevents you, if you were quadriplegic, obviously you're not gonna be able to do nursing, because you can't, but you guys get what I'm saying. And also I kind of want to say too is I don't think there really is ever a rock bottom, and I want to mention that because it seems for a lot of people, at least, the perception seems to be oh, they just need to wait till they hit their rock bottom before they realize how bad things are, and then they'll pursue recovery and get sober. But I really feel there really is no rock bottom. I really feel that at any point, the lowest point in your life, it can always be lower. So I don't think there truly is a rock bottom. I guess I do recognize the the value in doing some self-reflection and being wow, my situation's terrible, my life is just shitty, because I've made all these poor decisions, my addiction is running my life and ruining everything. I think there's value in recognizing that and wanting to make changes. But I guess my logic, or the way I see it is, I don't think you have to wait until you're at your lowest point to be hey, my life is not going the way I would like it to go. It's yeah, maybe I'm not homeless and fired from my job and in jail from a DWI or from drinking. I'm sorry, I'm hearing my roommates outside my door, a little distracting. But it doesn't have to get to that point. It could be hey, I'm a functioning alcoholic. Like I have a full-time job, I take care of my family, but it's like I'm drinking every day, like a dozen of drinks per day, in like the evening after work, and I'm unhappy. It's like that's still like I think that's a good time to like make changes. It doesn't have to get worse. And also just with my personal experience, like if looking at it from the rock bottom type of viewpoint, losing my nursing job, that could have been rock bottom, but things got even worse. The first arrest, rock bottom. Blowing through all of my money and eventually ended up with nerve damage and not being able to walk. That could have been rock bottom. But no, a few months after that, got a DUI, my second arrest, DUI. That could have been rock bottom, but no, I kept drinking and drinking and drinking. And, just like continuing to just like try to drown out my, my negative feel, like just all the devastation I caused in my life. I was just trying to avoid that pain. And by drinking every day, I just kept being stagnant. And that's also why I want to make this video too, is, I guess my word of wisdom to people is, not only is it never too late to make changes, but, substantial change takes time. I've been thinking about that after reading that message from the person from TikTok. It is like substantial change takes time, and also, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of struggles. I don't think that anyone, maybe like a select few, like a very rare percentage of people, like are able to be like, hey, I'm going to make a change, and like, boom, they implement it and they stick with that change perfectly for however long, maybe it's a complete lifestyle change and it's for the rest of their life. Or, maybe it's like, hey, they wanted to like earn $100,000 a year, whatever the length, it's like some people, a very small percentage, maybe might get it on the first try, but for a majority of people, and for myself included, like it took me a long time to finally start being successful in my recovery and my sobriety. From losing my job as a nurse, it took me, so mid-December 2019, took me all the way up to end of March, beginning of April, essentially, of 2022. A substantial, like a few years after, like, all the shit that went down. Because like I said, I just couldn't, like, I tried, like I've talked about on this channel, like I, did end up getting involved in mental health court. That was March of 2021. And, I tried to be sober. I tried to be successful in my recovery, but I just kept drinking, and, getting positive UA after positive UA, eventually getting kicked out of mental health court. So I think it's important to recognize, like, change is going to take time, and most of people don't get it on the first try. Like it might take a second try, but even then, like, I feel like the average person, or it's like reasonable to recognize that, like, most people, it's going to take a handful of tries. It might take a few dozen tries. It might take a few hundred tries. For me, for example, it's like I can't count how many times I tried to stop drinking, did okay for a little bit, but then fell off the wagon again. So I think it's important to recognize that and to just keep picking yourself back up. It's like, yeah, I understand it's easy to, like fall down and just like stay down. It's like, oh, well, I failed in my goal. I'm a piece of shit. I'm worthless. This and that. But, it's like, you're not going to achieve your goal if like you let that happen. You might not achieve your goal right away, but as long as you continue to pick yourself up and try to get back on track, and you know, of course, learning from your mistakes, you know, maybe looking at why you failed, you know, why you didn't succeed. I shouldn't even say fail, like why you didn't succeed. I think you only fail when you stop trying, when you just give up and just say, well, I'm worthless, you know. But you know, I do understand, like I've been there, like it's so hard to not fall into that trap of just like being like, oh well, I suck, like I guess that's just how it is. You know, so it's like, I don't know, it's taken me a lot of tries, and now I've finally been able to figure something out that worked for me, you know, moving into the sober living house, like fully enveloping myself in treatment, and, you know, doing meetings like AA or NA, Smart Recovery, like just fully giving myself to recovery. And finally, you know, I'm over a year and a half sober. March 30th of 2025 will be 3 years. That's crazy, like 3 years. But, you know, this didn't happen overnight. Also, my fitness, like me becoming in better shape and like losing body fat and gaining muscle and like having more stamina, that didn't happen overnight either. And there's been a lot of times where it's like I tried and, you know, maybe I worked out for a week or two and then I fell off, you know, so that also didn't happen like with just one try. So yeah, I don't know, hopefully, you know, I don't know who needs to hear this, you know, but hopefully as someone watching this video, you know, maybe this might be helpful, like and again, you know, it's not to be like, oh, you know, like, you know, you suck if you give up. Like, I understand, you know, but, you know, it's your life, you know, you make the decisions that you want to make. But, I don't know. I guess I want to let people know, like, there is still hope. Like, there still is a way. It's like, yeah, you might not, you know, be successful with your recovery, like, right off the bat. Yeah, you know, you might spend 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, continually, like, eventually relapsing, getting back on before you finally, like, everything kind of clicks together. You learn your previous mistakes and, you know, you improve and move forward. You know, it's just like, and also, again, like, that it's not going to happen overnight, because I think it's also pretty easy to fall into the trap of, like, being impatient and, you know, being like, oh, well, you know, I've been eating healthy, or I've been staying sober, you know, for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or even a few months, even a year or two, and like, oh, I'm not, you know, I haven't made the progress that I've wanted to make. It's like, that's okay, you know, like, you know, you've still made some amount of progress, compared to, you know, if you hadn't had started at all, or you know, if you started and did it a little bit and then just gave up on the first time you didn't succeed. So it's like, even though you know, have stuck with it, you've been getting back up every time and getting back on track, you know, you still might not be where you want to be at the moment, but, you know, just stick with it, you know, because eventually, you know, you will find, like, it might take some time, you know, and, you know, just, I don't know, but it's like one thing to, like, you know, hear that, you know, it's like, I know I've heard that a lot, and, like, that didn't, like, really soak in or, like, have much of an effect for me. So it's like, you know, I don't expect this to, like, immediately change somebody's thought process and, you know, your kind of thoughts and feelings on it, but hopefully maybe this will be a catalyst, you know, a little spark to, you know, like, help you maybe, like, you know, do some reflection and some rethinking, developing, like, more positive ways of thinking about, you know, change and success and goals and, you know, the time and effort that it takes. Yeah, because, yeah, you know, it's been a long 5 years, you know, for me to, you know, get to where I've been. And of course, you know, like I'm not where I want to be in some regards. Like, I've hoped and I thought that I would be in better shape than I am right now. Like even more muscular or leaner. But, that's going to come. It might take a while, but, as long as I continue to stick with it and not get discouraged by that fact, eventually it's going to happen, so, yeah, that's kind of all I have on the thoughts of the matter. Yeah, so like I said, hopefully this has been somewhat hopeful or inspirational, or again, if it doesn't have like an immediate effect, maybe hopefully plants that seed in the back of your mind, and that slowly sprouts, and whether that's a week from now or a month from now or a year from now, like maybe like that starts to sprout, and like you can implement that kind of wisdom. Well, I shouldn't even say wisdom. I don't want to, like, that sounds super conceited, but implement maybe my suggestions, and get positive results from it. So yeah, so I'm gonna hop on stream. I'm gonna play some more Dead Island. I had a lot of fun doing that the past few days. I'm not gonna stream for a whole bunch because we have our house meeting at 4 p.m. today. It's 2:09 p.m. right now, so probably play for like an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a comment, or if you have anything to add to my video, like any suggestions that people can read, like, yeah, drop a comment. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.